Welcome to Paramita Bhattacharya's English literature classes. Today I am going to explain the chapter Princess September by Somerset Maugham. Princess September, the daughter of the king of Siam, was very unhappy. Siam is a country now that is called Thailand. She was weeping alone one day in her own room when she saw a little bird hop in. Then the little bird began to sing. He sang a beautiful song about the lake, about the king's lake and the willow trees that was reflected in the still water. When he finished singing, the princess was not crying anymore. She was back to her jovial mood. She complimented that it was a very nice song, and the little bird asked her, "Would you like me to stay with you?" So Princess September was very happy. She clapped her hands with joy. And the little girl hopped on to the end of the bed and sang her to sleep. Now she slept very peacefully after long time. All her agitations were gone and she was very happy because of the soothing music created by the little bird. When she awoke the next day, the little bird was still sitting there, and she opened her eyes. He immediately wished her good morning. She stretched out the first finger of her right hand so that it served as a perch, and the bird sat on her finger. The little bird flew down and sat on it. Then she went through the palace and called on each of the princesses in turn. As we know, Princess September had 8 elder sisters. So the bird flew from one room to another. It was it was free and it was enjoying its freedom, and it was very happy to fly here and there without any hindrance. We all like freedom, isn't it? So the bird also was in its best state of mind, and it was trying to please everyone it met in the palace. And it visited each of the princesses and sang to them a different song. The other princesses were jealous and visited September together. They were not very happy to see this little bird so happy and singing so jovially in Princess September's room. So out of jealousy, they visited Princess September, and they did not want this bird to visit their room and disturb them at all. They did not like this song. So they said, "Well, my dear, your little bird flies in and out just as he likes." They looked round the room. "Where is your bird now?" they said. "He's gone off to visit his home," said September. "And what makes you think he will come back?" said the princesses. So they were trying to put this thing in the mind of the princess, put some insecurity in her mind that the bird will never come back again, and what if it doesn't come back? Now there was no answer to it, because September was so fond of the little bird that she didn't know what to say. All she wanted that the bird should come back to her. Now for the first time, this thing went into her head when they said that what if the bird doesn't come back? Now Princess September said, "He always does come back." "Well, my dear," said the princesses, "if you take our advice, pop him into the cage and keep him there." Pop means put him. Put him into the cage and keep him there. "But I like to have him fly around the room," said the princess. "Safety first," said her sister ominously. Ominously means it's like a warning. They wanted to warn her that you should first care about safety. What if the bird doesn't come back? You're fond of it and you will feel sad. So first cage it. So they were putting all those sinister plans in her mind. They were trying to poison her innocent mind. They got up and walked out of the room, shaking their heads. And as they left, September was really uneasy this time. It seemed to her that the little bird was away for a very long time, and she was really restless now. She was wondering what if he might forget her, or if he doesn't come back again, or if he likes somebody else and stays there and never returns. So she was now truly filled with many insecurities. But the bird came back right after that. September felt very happy, and she made up her mind not to take any more risk. She put the bird in a cage and shut the door on him. The bird was very surprised. He did not expect this behavior from the princess. "What's wrong?" he said. September said, "Some of Mama's cats are prowling about tonight, and I think you are much safer inside this cage." So she tried to give him an answer, but actually she had it in her mind that she will never let him out again. But she was doing this with a good intention. The intention matters. And here we see that Princess September, she had a very soft heart and she loved this bird. And she did not want to lose him. And that is why she was putting him in the cage. He ate a very good supper and began to sing. So inside the cage, we see the bird that it was still enjoying its food, but when it started to sing, in the middle of this song, his voice suddenly stopped. He realized that he could not sing anymore. See, singing comes from the heart when someone is happy. So being caged is not a very good feeling, and the bird could not sing anymore. So he said, "I don't know what's the matter with me, but I don't feel like singing tonight." "Very well," said September, "go to sleep instead." So he put his head under his wing and in a minute was fast asleep. But the bird was still expecting his freedom the next day. So early in the morning he started shouting, wake up," and tried to wake up the princess to let him fly again. But Princess September said, "You are much better where you are, that is inside the cage. And you have a beautiful golden cage. Don't you like it? So you better be in the golden cage." But for a bird, freedom is something which is much more precious than a golden cage. "Let me out," said the bird. "You will have 3 meals a day. You will have nothing to worry, and from morning till night you can sing to your heart's content." But freedom is much more. Its value is much more than good meals and a golden cage or whatever you provide. You cannot barter with freedom. So the bird was surprised and he realized for the first time that he would have to stay in this cage from now onwards. The little bird tried to sleep through the bars of the cage, but he could not. Now he was trying to get free. He was really scared of the intention of Princess September, and he started crying. Princess September tried to justify her action by saying that she has put him in the cage because she was fond of him. So we see here how Princess September, due to her love, is trying to cage the little bird and depriving it of the real happiness that it deserves. But the little bird stood in the corner of his cage, looking out at the blue sky, dreaming of his freedom perhaps, and he never sang any song anymore. So gradually, Princess September realized that her actions has put her little friend in trouble. She tried to cheer him up by picking up the cage and going to the fields and taking a walk in the fields so that he will be able to see the blue skies, the trees, and everything. But that was not any comfort for the little bird. The rice fields and the lake and the willow trees now looked very different from inside the bars of the cage. That made the little bird more sad, because it is a different thing to see the fields, to see the lake, to see the picture of a willow tree. But to sit under the tree, to walk in the fields, to swim in the lake, that is a different experience. So who likes to be caged? Nobody. So here the bird gradually became very, very sad, and the princess became more and more anxious, because this was not what she wanted. She wanted the bird to be happy, but that happiness is now extinguished by her behavior. The next day, when she awoke, she cried good morning in a very cheerful voice to the little bird. She ran to the cage and started to cry, because the bird was now lying with his eyes closed. It looked as if it was dead. It had really fallen sick. Now she opened the door and she felt very sad that whether the bird was already dead. So in her despair now she realized that what harm she had done to the little bird. Then take your freedom, the princess said. I shut you in a golden cage because I loved you and wanted to have you all to myself. But I never knew it would kill you. Go, fly among the trees that are around the lake and fly over the green rice fields. So finally she gave the freedom to the little bird, and the little bird now felt better. It soon recovered and flew around and promised the princess that it will always come back and never forget her. So it flew into the blue skies. This story, it suggests that if we love someone, the happiness of that someone is more than our own. And if we keep this in mind, then the world also becomes a better place to live in. And it also emphasizes on the value of true freedom.